All right. Okay, so we are recording and let's let everyone in, shall we?
Yes.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Feel free to unmute yourself and say hello. We're just waiting for a few more to pop on and join us, and then we'll get started. Kim, it looks like it's beautiful out there outside. Awesome. And Janisa and Anjali and Christine, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Can you all see my screen?
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. Well, so where are you all from while we're waiting for everyone? Where are you all from? Either feel free to type in the chat, unmute and shout out. Cindy's Pennsylvania, sometimes Delaware. I'm in Reno, Nevada. Christine, Central Florida.
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Jennifer, Pennsylvania.
I'm from Virginia.
Virginia.
Reno.
Reno, yep. South Reno right now at the moment.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we are so excited to have you join us. I'm just going to give it one more minute and then we will get started. And feel free to use your reactions on your Zoom. If you know how to do that, feel free, open your chat and type, you know, what you're excited about or questions. We will have a little Q&A time at the end too. And then make sure you have your little sample drops too, so that we can taste along as we go. So excited for this. I am Pamela Zimmer, and I am a corporate director with APL Go, and my team is Legacy Leaders, and we are so excited to do this with you today. So I know we have people from all over, and that just makes me so happy. So happy. All right, let's see. Yvette, are you ready to get going?
I am.
All right, well, let's get started then. I'm just going to adjust my view a little bit so that I can see more of your faces. All right, so again, welcome. We're so excited that you are joining us for this virtual candy in quotes, drop tasting party. And you've probably never heard of candy being good for you, right? Like, that's not ever something that my mom used to say to me, like, eat your candy, it's good for you. Well, we really believe that you're in for a treat today, because what we have to share with you, these candy drops, are both delicious and nutritious. And before we get to the tasting part, which is why we're all here, right? We just want to share a little bit about what goes into that drop. So if that's okay, give me thumbs up in the chat. We're just going to educate a little bit. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever stood by the ocean or walked barefoot in the grass and you just feel good? You just feel the energy from nature. And that energy you are feeling and that calming effect is from negative ions or anions. And anions have proven health benefits and have an extremely calming effect. That's why we always feel better. Nature is shown to have high concentrations of these negative ions, and our plants are full of them. Now, how are our plants full of anions? Lightning. This blew my mind. Did you know that lightning strikes the earth up to 8 million times a day? That's crazy. It's crazy that we're all still alive. These lightning strikes carry that negative ion energy to plants and add to their potency. And we know that botanicals have many healing properties, but once you take the plant out of the ground or pluck it from the tree, it starts to lose some of that healing qualities because it starts to lose that negative ion charge. So that's why you always hear, eat your food as fresh as possible, eat while it still has some charge. So what does all of this have to do with what we're here today, right? What does it have to do with anything? Hi, Kelly, I see you down there. Well, here at APL Go, we've developed a system and a technology where we start by picking our botanicals at the peak of their individual potency. And then we extract the plant's DNA, and this results in a pure and potent product that contains all of the plant's natural health benefits. And the next step is we restore the plant's negative ion energy, that anion energy, by putting it into a chamber where we simulate the lightning strike in a cold environment. It's crazy technology. And the last step is we embed that negatively charged plant DNA into the lozenges or drops, our candy drops. And we like to call these lozenges or drops candies because they are so delicious and they literally taste like Jolly Ranchers. The plant's DNA is embedded into a caramel-like substance made from natural molasses and beets, and it has only 6 calories and 1 gram of sugar in each, but it's all natural sugar. And we like to call them drops of health, and they really are where nutrition meets technology. So get this, we have found a way to eat candy and get healthy, and we are really excited to share it with you. They're convenient. Kids and adults love them. Adults love the kids love them. My kids love them. They're delicious, safe. They work immediately. We call them instant gratification nutrition, and they taste so good, you can hardly believe they are good for you. Again, you won't find any artificial sweeteners, colors, flavors here. Everything comes straight from nature. We're vegan, gluten-free, non-GMO, kosher, and halal certified. We even own the manufacturing process and facility. We are also registered with the FDA as a food, and we are ISO 9001 and 22000 certified, which is, those are international standards. And it basically means that what we say is in the product is actually in the product. So our candy drops are the real deal. Okay. So just as our technology industry has gone through many innovations, the supplement industry has also gone through a lot of changes. And when you look at all the different ways we've consumed our health and wellness products, most of them have had to go through our digestive process, which can be slow and sluggish. It may not actually work very well. The true key to health is not actually what you consume, it's what you absorb. So with our drops, we bypass the digestive system altogether. We get to suck on these little candies, and nearly 100% of the ingredients get absorbed into our mucous membranes through our cheeks and then directly into our bloodstream within seconds. They're fast. And it's kind of like when a doctor tells you to put something under your tongue. Why do they do that? It's because it gets absorbed immediately. And the same thing happens with these candies. So let me ask you this, and feel free to answer in the chat here. If you could choose to get your nutrition from the candies on the left or the horse pills on the right, which would you choose? Candies or pills? I know which one I'm grabbing for every time, the candies. All right, so that's a little bit right. It's a no-brainer, Cindy, total no-brainer. Okay, so who is ready to taste these candy drops of health? Just drop an eye or give me a thumbs up or something. So make sure, grab your samples, make sure you have them. Yes, Christine, Cindy, me, I am. I've got my little drops right here. So we are going to get started with Yvette. She is going to kick us off on our first little tasting. Take it away, Yvette.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I was just helping someone get on. They couldn't get on, so I was just doing it on my text.
Oh,
and so I'm looking for Sue to come in. So Welcome, everyone, and thank you all for being here. And this is going to be an educational experience. So I've got a lot of information to share, but I'm going to get through it so that everyone else can share. When I was going through this product, I'll briefly share. When I was going through this particular formula, I knew this, but I just wanted to say it out loud, is that it's a synergistic effect. You will find out that some of the things that I'm sharing, some of the minerals, the vitamins, all of the functions of the body that we're going to share with you that's happening with these products, they intertwine. And these Italian scientists have created here 15 different drops. We're going to share 5 of them with you today, but you will see how they cross-reference, so to speak, but they all specialize to go and to help our body systems, our organs, to help us to function. So I'm going to start off with the apricot powder. Do you all have yours? And you can go ahead and pop that into your mouth and you can enjoy the delicious taste of the apricot while I share with you. This plant or fruit is rich in phytonutrients, which are the natural compounds from nature in our fruits and vegetables. And these nutrients are believed to be beneficial to preventing diseases. What I'm sharing with you is science. None of this is just coming out of my head. All of this is science-based evidence, how these formulas are put together. So these phytonutrients in our bodies, it converts to vitamin A in the body, and the apricot is advantageous to essential for the embryo development, for immune functioning, improved vision, skin elasticity, which is something that we all are looking for. It protects us from the damaging molecules that we are subjected to in the pesticides in our environment, the synthetic nutrients that are in our makeup, our lotions, our house cleaning products, the chemicals that are in our workplace. These chemicals are absorbed into our glands, and these glands signal and produce hormones. So you can see with the dangerous chemicals that are out there, how they can have a negative effect on the endocrine system. And also, the apricot assists our digestive system and our nervous system. I was listening to a lecture during one of my health coaching training programs, David Wolf, and he said that since the 1940s, 77,000 chemicals have been introduced to the United States. That was very shocking to me. It seems that when it comes to nutrition and health, that we're in the third world country. But that was just a powerful fact that I came upon recently and wanted to share that. The apricot contains our vitamins C, our B complex, our K, and the minerals that you're going to hear me say over again is the calcium, the iron, the magnesium, the phosphorus, the potassium, the psyllium, the magnesium. Did you all know, a lot of people say that they take magnesium? And I asked, do you take potassium? Because if you don't have the potassium in your body, the magnesium does not know what to do. So getting the DNA from this plant, you're getting everything that the plant has to offer. And going back to copper, when I first heard that we are supposed to be intaking copper, I was like, copper, it's like, what's the benefit? And so I was going to a farmer's market and I saw this vessel. And the benefits of drinking out of a copper vessel, it helps with the kidneys. I had no idea, but it also helps with the skin, the hair, the eyes, the bone, the brains. The copper helps the nerve cells keep healthy. It supports the immune system. It helps the body to form collagen. A lot of us spend a lot of money on collagen. With the right botanicals in our bodies, the collagen can be made by our bodies. The apricot is anti-carcinogenic, antimicrobial, anti-tumoral, anti-inflammatory, just to name a few, and has also been shown to be effective in resolving cardiovascular disease. The ashwagandha root is known for improving and strengthening the immune system, and its communication. This is another thing that I found out in in my health coaching program, is that the immune system, if it can't communicate to the brain, then that's why we're having a lot of issues and we don't realize that it's related to the gut. The ashwagandha increases the body's resistance to various infections from microorganisms that we may be exposed to. And the ashwagandha destroys the bacteria, the bad viruses, because we have good and bad. And it also, the different fungi that invades our bodies. The ashwagandha is a positive effect on that as well. It's effective, I love this one. It's effective against inflammation in the vagina, discharges, boils, and pimples. And a lot of us having these internal issues with the reproductive system, and ashwagandha in this particular formula is helping to support that. The asparagus root, it has a positive effect on the kidneys as a diuretic and helps to regulate blood pressure and rid the body of excess fluid buildup in the tissues. Again, something that a lot of us deal with, that fluid in our body and not knowing how to rid of it. It also helps the asparagus roots, also helps aids the body's filtration system of the kidneys, and that is huge. It supports the ease of acute and chronic nephritis, which is the inflammation of the kidneys, and inflammation of the bladder and the urinary tract. It helps everything that's in our reproductive system here. Again, the asparagus roots provides the essential minerals to our bodies, the boron, the copper, selenium, the phosphate. And I will tell you, I have invested in, prior to coming to this product, finding this product, or this product finding me, I would invest in the liquid form of these minerals. I mean, I had a bottle of all of this, like I didn't have the copper, but I had the boron, the selenium, the iron, the calcium, the magnesium. I would have all of these bottles lined up. I've got had like 10 blue bottles lined up, and each morning in my water, I'd add these minerals. And it's like, when I found this, I'm going like, oh my gosh, I could just take these and would save the money on that product versus this. And so that's what I'm doing now. But it's so many benefits of having these extra minerals that we can't get from our foods, or if they are in our foods, when we cook them, they are minimized. So the Damiana leaf, this is the next one that I'm going to talk about. So it helps to restore normal levels of female hormones, and we all need that. I didn't realize until I was taking this class, this program certification, that we have hormones all over our bodies. I grew up just thinking of the female hormones, not knowing of how powerful they were in the endocrine system. But the Damiana leaves restores the endocrine system functioning. The major endocrine glands that we suffer from, or we know, or that are more prominent, are the thyroid and the adrenal glands. We tend to stress those out as women. So these leaves have also been used in the production of energy drinks and stimulants. So you're going to find that you're going to be maintaining a level of really good energy, not having to fluctuate. Now you may need, one of our other drops with this GTS, but this is something that will kind of help you. If you take it every day, it'll help you keep maintain a nice, satisfactory energy level. The leaves have been known in some cultures. It has been prepared to drink the leaves and make a prepared drink from the leaves and use it as an aphrodisiac. It has beneficial effect on the human reproductive system and helps with infertility problems. And it also aids with the pre and post menopausal hormonal support. The ginger root is effective for the preventing of and alleviating peptic ulcer disease, and has a positive effect on the lining of the stomach. This is so important. We do not think about the lining of our organs. And once it starts deteriorating, it's hard to rebuild. These ingredients in this particular formula is helping to regenerate and restore that lining that has worn out over time. It helps to strengthen the blood vessels, reduce the risk of blood clots, and again, contains all of those essential minerals of calcium and chromium, and again, magnesium, potassium, phosphates, silica for the bone and the tendons. A lot of us have the weakness or have had replacements of the joints. And this actually contains essential minerals for the support of the bones and the tendons. Ginger is used as an analgesic for diseases of joints, for arthritis, degenerative disease of the joints, where the cartilage lining, again, here we go with lining, giving that support for the worn out of the linings over time. And one more, the ginkgo leaf. And I'll be real quick with this so that I know my time is I didn't put my timer on, but the ginkgo leaf, several studies show that it's a safe and effective botanical for improving symptoms of Alzheimer's, vascular dementia, and also menopausal disorders such as memory, concentration, depression, dizziness, tendinitis, and which is ringing of the ears. And this is something that I saw in my 15 years of doing bodywork therapy. A lot of my clients would come in and would experience this ringing of the ears. And when they would go to their doctors, I thought it was kind of funny, and so did they. I mean, not the fact that they had ringing of the ears, ringing in the ears, but the doctors would have them tilt the head this way and the exercise of tilting the head that way. And, you know, and they did it, and they would get some success with it. But then I came across this and I was just like, oh my gosh, I've got to reach out to them again and let them know we have something that can aid in helping that. So with that said, those are the ingredients that's contained in the Power for Women. And now I'd like to share a testimonial from one of our associates, Maxanne McKinney. And her testimonial on this power, she's had, I'll just read it. For a year, I suffered from bloating 1 week before my cycle. Along with that cycle came low back pain, heavy bleeding, clots, and long periods. Doctors ran tests, ultrasounds. They looked for cysts and fibroids. A biopsy was completed. The findings, we think it's hormones, the doctor said. The resolution, an IUD was the only option given until Power Women came into my life. I am happy to talk to anyone who may have more questions or who may want to talk personally one-on-one, because Power for Women changed my life. She shared these videos with me, these pictures with me when I first introduced her to the product. And I was so amazed at how, and she was actually a little bit larger than that, at first, but these are the ones that she was sharing. And I wanted just to share that's like everything hormonal is right around that solar plexus area. And that is what is being addressed with this Power of Women. And so just going on, I just also want to share with you some of the benefits that I have shared with you are also in our Power for Men, which is a lemon flavor. And this helps with prostate. It helps with the urinary system. It helps with testosterone in men. So if you have that man in your life, whether that's the young man that's growing up, whether it's the husband, whether it's the significant other, we have that powerful men that will support them as well. So that's what I have, Pamela.
Awesome. Thank you, Yvette. So much good stuff. We really could do like an hour on each drop. That's how packed full of botanical benefits they each have. So next we're going to move on to RLX Relax, and we have Cindy Daw, who's going to share about that. So go for it, Cindy. Unmute yourself, maybe.
Yeah, unmuting would help. There's these shirts now that says you're on mute, because that seems to be what everybody does since 2020. So Relax is one of my favorite because it has truly helped my sleep as well as my mother's sleep. And she's 83. But let's just talk a little bit about RLX. I want to go through the ingredients because one of my favorites is banana. And wow, newsflash. Did you know that bananas contain the essential amino acid tryptophan? And tryptophan helps the body convert to serotonin, which is a hormone that helps one relax, and it improves your mood and it makes you feel happier. A banana, can you imagine? Who would have thought? It also contains chamomile, and chamomile traditionally was used for colds, but studies indicate that it's used for general anxiety, and it acts as a mild sedative. So I think that was really interesting for me to learn as I researched this myself. The ginseng root. Did you know that all parts of the plant have medicinal properties? However, the highest concentration is in its roots, and that's what's in this drop, Relax. It's found to help regulate the nervous system, and it helps prevent mental and physical fatigue. Passion flower, something that I'm very accustomed to having in a tea, was used by ancient Mayans and Aztecs for its known calming and soothing effect on the nervous system. Medicinal uses among Native Americans included uses for insomnia, anxiety, and even epilepsy. And in clinical trials, the passion flower shows reduced anxiety and sedative effects. And in one clinical study, it relieved menopausal symptoms, and in another, reduced symptoms in 3 to 6 weeks. The ashwagandha, again, in many of our drops, is known to stabilize the body's physiological processes, decreasing cellular sensitivity to stress. We all need a little bit of that. And part of its roots has stress relieving properties and also sedative effects. So that was the ashwagandha. And then, what did I miss? Oh, lettuce. I'll never forget someone trying the Relax drop and saying, I can't believe that I have lettuce, plant DNA from lettuce. And it's the leaf. It contains a phytonutrient, lactocin, and has shown sedative and analgesic activities in research. Just a side note, lettuce has thiamine or vitamin B1, which helps build a strong immune system, which helps the body handle stress and helps maintain healthy cells. That's lettuce. So in review, Relax is infused with a specific formula to enhance your body's ability to achieve relaxation and mental calmness through day and night. It helps support the body's already normal regulation of sleep and handling of stress, and may also help with more restful sleep. The lozenge contains active plant cell components that embrace the body's natural ability to manage normal human reactions provoked by occasional stress. I laughed at that in the course of daily living because we all just have occasional stress. And Relax may also contribute to a healthy inner environment that naturally sets the conditions for a blissful good night's rest. The taste is bananas. Who wouldn't love that with its delicious tropical taste? And like all our candy lozenge drops, Relax dissolves in the mouth with immediate absorption and delivery through your cheek. That's Relax, folks. So let's try our Relax drop.
Thank you, Cindy. And one of the things that I want to add too is that sometimes we generally take the Relax before bed to help us sleep. But I know I take it a lot more often during the day and it doesn't put me to sleep. So for all of you wondering, well, if I take the Relax right now in the middle of the day, am I going to fall asleep at my desk? You will not.
So I want to add to that. My mom has been combining the Relax Drop with our Alt Drop, and she has this 40-year-old cough that no one has been able to diagnose, related to a dry throat, but we believe it's related to anxiety and stressful situations. And so she'll suddenly begin coughing like crazy. And I'll say, did you take your Relax Drop with your Alt? And so she does that. And we have found in the middle of a doctor's appointment, all of a sudden, she's not coughing. And I'll say, guess what? I noticed you're not coughing. And she is convinced it's the Relax Drop with our other one.
So good. So good. Thank you, Cindy. All right, moving on. We have, this one is another good one. They're all good, but we have Miss Jennifer, who's going to talk to us about ice. So unmute yourself, Jennifer.
Again,
There you go.
right, Cindy, it helps if you unmute. Uh, I definitely had on mute because I have this dog that I'm watching and it does, you never know when she's gonna bark. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about ice, and it's one of my favorites because I didn't live on Tums. I always had them nearby. And I love that now I can have something holistic and plants that take it away immediately. This works for me within 10 minutes. And the other day, I'll actually just give you a quick testimony. I've been experiencing something in, not GERD, but something reference to that. And I just having one of those days and I couldn't pinpoint it, but it was just like, okay. So I took one and I'm like, So I waited about 20 minutes and then I took a second, and within 5 minutes, I was feeling great. So I totally swear by these for that. And they're safe for children as well, which is a big plus in my book. As long as they can suck something, it's great for any age. And before I go into the ingredients of ice, I did want to touch on what these drops, how they are sweetened. And they are sweetened with molasses from organic beets and sugar cane. And molasses has more antioxidants than blueberries, which I never knew. In fact, I never knew half of what I'm learning with these drops until I became familiar with all of them. And these antioxidants are found in a lot of medicinal herbs and many fresh foods. And they play an important role in the prevention of cancer due to the chemopreventative and anti-tumorigenic properties and are an effective anti-inflammatory agents. Who would ever guess? I don't know if anybody has ever known anything about that, but I certainly have. And sugarcane is derived from molasses, and it shows that it's an organic, non-GMO sugar beet molasses, which is high antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, as I said, anti-cancer, and it is just so good for us. So when people say, well, what's the sweetener? That's basically the sweetener, which is beyond healthy for all of us. I'm going to go into the ingredients of what is in ice. And the first one I'm going to talk about is sea buckthorn berry. And this aids in digestion. And it is grown in the Northwest Himalayas. And it has to be in high altitude to be able to thrive like it does. And it is rich with vitamin A, C, H, which is biotin and coenzymes. It reduces inflammation. It is high in B1, B2, B3, and it reduces fat that forms around integral organs, which who would ever think? Who would ever think you're looking at sea buckthorn and it does all these things? There are so much more that it does, but that would take way too long to go through the list. The second one I'm going to talk about is meadowsweet. And meadowsweet is anti-inflammatory. analgesic, astringent. It has anti-acid properties and anti-ulcerogenic. So anybody with an ulcer, totally safe to take. And it's like a heparin-like. They said it's an anticoagulant, which to me was anybody that's on heparin or warfarin, not to say you can replace it, but this Meadowsweet has that property. And it contains a lot of tannins and phenylated compounds that inhibit superoxide free radicals. And again, anti-carcinogenic. And it's historically used when people wanted to have relief in joints and muscles. And it also helps the smooth flow of urine. So if anybody has a urinary tract situation, and it's also used to relieve stomach discomforts as heartburn, hence one of the main products in this. The next one I'm going to talk about is licorice root. And this has been a traditional Chinese medicine. And it is known to help the spleen and the stomach in functioning properly. It relieves coughing and phlegm. It is an antioxidant and antiviral. So you think licorice, I don't know if you have licorice root and you think of, you're going to be eating licorice. It's totally a different thing. And the fact that it's anti-tumor and anti-inflammatory really spoke volumes to me. And that's just in one of the ingredients in this particular one. The next one I'm going to talk about is chamomile. And chamomile is, excuse me while I get right to it. It's found to have antibacterial, antifungal, antiseptic, and anti-tumor properties as well. And it also is a mild sedative, and it has very soothing effects. I don't know, probably a lot of you know that if you drink chamomile tea before bed, it's supposed to be the one that you're supposed to take to help relax you. Well, obviously they thought this was the perfect one for ice, and it helps reduce anxiety and improve sleep. So along with what we just talked about, relax, the chamomile in here, same thing, it does the same thing. And now I'm going to talk about aloe vera, and a lot of you know the aloe vera plant. And this gel is from the inner leaf, and it activates self-cleaning systems of the body and helps remove toxins. Also has antibacterial actions, anti-inflammatory and antifungal. And it cleans and dilates the capillaries and veins, which does improve circulation. Aloe vera. I knew it was good, but I had no idea it was that. And it also helps with burns, but obviously not inside your stomach. But if you think about it, if it soothes a burn, it would soothe what's going on in your stomach. And the last one, which totally threw me for a loop, was carrot. And carrot, excuse me, I lost my place because the dog did knock this book over as I was going through everything. So just bear with me for 1 second. And the bioactive ingredients in carrot helps reduce the inflammation in lungs and the liver. And it helps prevent heart disease and renal, which is kidney failure. It normalizes the intestine, which turns and contributes to the improvement of your gastrointestinal tract. And it is anti-cancer. It beta carotene traps free radicals and quenches the single oxygen radicals. And this is chemopreventive, protects against sun damaging effects on the skin, and strengthens the immune system. It strengthens the immune system within. And it also protects against stroke. Well, it can, we say this, what it can: stroke, high blood pressure, arthritis, bronchial asthma, urinary tract infection, and osteoporosis. So carrots contain a lot more than we've ever thought imaginable. And they figured out how to put this all together with a mint, cool mint, which in mint comes from the peppermint plant. So therefore you get the minty taste, and it is delicious. And if you want to all try that right now, be my guest. If you want to save it for a situation you're in when you're having a digestive issue, by all means do that. And we can answer any questions at the end. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. Thank you. All right. If you all do not have a drop in your mouth, feel free, like Jennifer said, to either pop that ice, or we are going to move on to stop, the STP, and you can pop that one if you want. And then Jennifer, I'm just going to mute you and your dog. Thank you. Real life, right? So stop is, we call it step up or stop, quick help at your fingertips, and it supports the body's natural response to occasional physical discomforts, the repair process, and can have a calming effect on temporary aches and pains from physical overexertion. With a cherry on top, the soothing luscious taste of natural cherry flavor dissolves in your mouth. And I'm going to quickly go over the ingredients in STP. The first one, ashwagandha root, and we've already heard a lot about ashwagandha from some of the previous drops. This is actually an ingredient that I didn't even know what it was, let alone how to spell it. I had to Google it, but if you Google ashwagandha, you will see the immense number of benefits that it has. It's considered to be one of the most important herbs in India's healing system of Ayurveda, dating back to 6000 BC. It's crazy how many years these botanicals have been used for healing. And I will just say this little disclaimer that we are not making medical claims here. We are just sharing our personal testimonials, as well as the scientific studies and research that each of these botanicals have been proven to hold and benefit us. So just had to share that little thing. But some of the properties of ashwagandha, which does take practice saying, is stress reduction, anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, anti-arthritic. It helps support the formation of new neural pathways in our nerve cells, which is actually helpful for those with memory deficits. That's something that I didn't know. The next ingredient I'm going to talk about is cherry, and that's what gives this drop its taste. And it is beneficial for improving capillary strength and cardiovascular conditions. It also has anti-inflammatory effects on our joints, muscles, and connective tissues, which is why it pairs really great as a post-workout combo with the next drop that you will try. So just file that away. Cherries also contain calcium, potassium, phosphorus, vitamin C, beta carotene, and provitamin A, as well as melatonin. So here's another one that you can take before bed to kind of help with that calming effect, all from the cherry, the DNA of the cherry that's in these drops. Next, ginger root. Again, we've heard this one before and a couple other ones as well. Again, I'm just going to reiterate, it has a positive effect on the lining of the stomach and has a positive effect in preventing intestinal parasites, helps strengthen blood vessels and reduces the risk of blood clots, helps with metabolism and preventing fatty liver, supports nerve, brain, and muscle movement functions, and is used to speed recovery from colds, flus, cough, sinusitis, soothes the throat pain. I remember taking those like cherry secret cough drops, and oh, they tasted horrible. Nothing like what these cherry drops taste like. Ginger root is also an antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, and anti-inflammatory botanical. and it contains the B vitamin niacin and vitamin C. So far, lots of vitamin C in this cherry flavored candy drop. Next, we have grapple plant root, which that's a new botanical ingredient for me. It's used for fevers, arthritis, skin problems, and diseases of the digestive tract. It has pain relieving properties and has even also been shown to reduce parasites. One thing that I do want to mention too with our drops is a lot of these ingredients cross over from one drop to the next. And it is really amazing because you're getting so many different benefits. Like you're taking it for one symptom, but you're getting all these other benefits for the rest of your systems in your body. Next, licorice root. Again, Jennifer talked to us a little bit about that in the last drop ice and mentioned that it's used in traditional Chinese medicine. It's been used for centuries for pain, improving spleen and stomach function, eliminating phlegm, relieving cough. It has also been shown to significantly increase the body's resistance to infectious diseases. So I thought that was really, really powerful. Next, we have rod pepper or cayenne. And I did not know this, maybe you all knew this, that chili pepper is one of the most well-known pain relievers of acute or chronic pain, and it stimulates the release of endorphins. Those are our feel-good hormones. So I didn't know that. So, you know, those of you that like hot salsa, you're doing good for your body. You're making your brain feel good and helping with your acute pain. It has been shown to raise the metabolic rates, aid in respiratory problems, earaches, and sores. And get this, rod pepper, cayenne, has up to 6 times more vitamin C than an orange. I will say that again. It has up to 6 times more vitamin C than an orange. So you could pop this little cherry drop that has rod pepper in it and know that you're getting more vitamin C than an orange. Pretty cool. Raspberry. Raspberry protects the body against free radical cell damage. That's what we get from all those positive ions. Our cell phones, traffic, computers, technology, smog, all of the nasty stuff we put in and on our body. Those are positive ions that cause free radical damage, and raspberry protects against that. It also protects against oxidative stress. It's high in vitamin C, folate, potassium, and magnesium. It's shown to prevent the growth of cancer cells, reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, and help regulate blood glucose levels, which can help lower the risk of diabetes, as well as having effects against fatigue, irritability, and tension headaches. And then lastly, I will talk about turmeric root. This is another super popular botanical that seems to be the buzz right now. Everyone's turmeric this, turmeric that. Turmeric is useful in weight loss, the breaking down of fats, and simplifying the digestive process. It's used for the treatment of acne, inflammation caused by osteoarthritis, and cardiovascular diseases. And it supports the health of bones and joints and has significant anti-inflammatory properties. It's also, this is another interesting one, it's also been shown to cross that blood-brain barrier, which is a very important factor in neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's. And with turmeric, the list goes on and on. There literally was 2 pages of the benefits of this particular botanical ingredients. And personal testimonial, we've talked about how both kids and adults can take these. And I have 2 boys, 11 and 14. My 11-year-old cannot swallow pills at all. Every now and then, he is in a situation where I feel as a mom, he probably needs some Tylenol for a bumped head or a scraped knee or a fever or something. And instead of trying to give him the liquid Tylenol, which I don't want to do, he will suck on a cherry drop instead. And that makes me feel so much better as a mom. He will actually take it because it tastes good. So it's a win-win. I know that I reach for this before I reach for the Advil and the Tylenol myself. And 99.9% of the time it will work with just one drop. So that is STP, the cherry flavored delight. So if you haven't popped that one, go ahead. And then we are going to finish up with our last drop today, SLD. Christine, I do think it would work for headaches. One of the things that I also always make sure to tell people is to make sure you're drinking lots of water with it too, because that's what helps our cells move throughout our bloodstream. And because these go right into our bloodstream, we want to make sure that our cells are properly hydrated. So lots of water. And yeah, you could definitely try a stop in place of whatever else you're going to take for a headache. And yeah, helps with fevers too, right? Who knew? Cool. And we'll answer more questions
Pamela,
at the end too.
I wanted to
Yeah.
add, it truly does help with headaches.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Thanks, Jennifer. All right, Sheila, are you ready to close us out with SLD?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Thank you, Pamela. Today I must talk about the SLD, also known as slide. And basically SLD helps with mobility. That's what it helps with. It helps for you to move the body when you take slide, helps you to move the body with more comfort, ease, and freedom. That's what slide does. And it's one of my favorite candies, as a matter of fact. And I'm going to talk more about that later. But it helps with inflammation, joint support, and is great as a post-workout drop for those achy muscles. So you can use this, take a drop before you go to exercise, if you're going to the gym before you exercise, or you can also use it when you come back from exercise class to help with those achy muscles. So slide is really, is a good drop to use. And I say drop, but it's also called a lozenge. And we say drop and lozenge, so we say that a lot too. So it's still all the same thing. I want to also now talk about the superfoods that are in slide. There are about 7 of them. And the first one I'm going to talk about is ginger root. This is a wonderful superfood. You know about it. You use it in a marinade for baked goods. That zesty ingredient make baked goods really good to eat. And ginger root is also good for motion sickness and digestive issues. The second herb that I never heard of before, and you probably haven't either, is called a grabble plant. And in doing research, grabble plant is also considered to be an herb called devil's claw. Now, I don't want you to get nervous about this, about devil's claw. It's not going to hurt you, no fear at all. It's going to help. So no need to worry about that. Grabble plant is used to reduce pain in the body. And the roots of the plant, of the grabble plant, is used in making herbal supplements for pain. That's what grabble plant is used for. So that's so interesting. The licorice root, that's the other superfood in SLD, and it's a powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. It has anti-inflammatory properties, and it aids in digestion, just like the ginger root. And it also helps reduce body fat as well. And the licorice root is known to increase energy. So like we mentioned before, our drops have only 1 gram of sugar, the molasses, and beet juice. So it's so much better for children to take than to take that sugary licorice candy at store. And they'll get all these benefits from slide as well. The next superfood, which I love to drink mostly every day, is the green tea leaf. My favorite tea is jasmine green tea. That's my favorite. And I was so happy to see that the green tea leaf was in slide. That's why I love it so much. The green tea leaf is considered an antioxidant. It improves brain function, and it helps with fat loss, weight loss, just like the other what I just mentioned before. The green tea leaf has bioactive compounds to reduce inflammation, and it protects the cells in the body by reducing free radicals in the body as well. That's what green tea leaf does. The next superfood, turmeric root, is definitely considered a well-known superfood. Everybody knows about turmeric. It has that active compound in there, curcumin. Hope I'm saying that right, but I love turmeric. It has proven health benefits. It's anti-inflammatory, and it helps to boost the mood and also helps with depression. That's the turmeric root. You can use just a little bit of that, a pinch of the turmeric root in your foods. What I do for soups and stews, and you can also put a pinch of that in your smoothie in the morning. I love turmeric root. The next superfood is pears. And as you can see on the slide, delight in the taste of Dutchess pear. Dutchess pear is in SLD. That's found in Central Asia and European countries. They could be found in Whole Foods supermarket. I'm not really sure, but Dutchess pear is what's in the SLD. But I'm sure that any type of pears that you get from the store, the Bartlett pears, for an example, has the same type of benefit because pears give fiber and vitamins. And that's what pears does in SLD. It fights inflammation. The pears aid in weight loss, promotes gut and heart health. And also with Dutchess pears, any type of pear, in doing research, if you would eat pears as a snack before going to bed at night, then you will have a good night's sleep, along with the RLX as well. And then the last superfood is wild strawberry, and that is an excellent source of potassium. It supports the heart health and reduces blood pressure. It's also known, the wild strawberry, as a laxative. And the difference between the wild strawberry and the regular strawberries is that it reference to soil, with how it's produced in the soil, harvest, and also it has a stronger and sweeter taste. I have a quick testimony about Slide. In using Slide, I went hiking with my son a couple of months ago in California, and I just didn't think that I would be able to go up a mountain at all. I suffered with circulation problems in my legs, and I didn't think I would be able to do this at all. But I took a slide before I went up that hill, and I had no problems at all. I couldn't believe it. I finished the whole hike, and that made me feel good. So when I got up on the mountain to look over the whole city, I was happy that I did that. I was proud of myself. And I was also proud that my son told me, "Mom, you are in good shape." And that made me feel happy as well. So that's my testimony of Slide. That is a beautiful product.
I love that testimonial, Sheila. It makes me smile every time I hear it. Every time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anyone have any questions? Feel free to unmute, type them in the chat.
Oh, one more thing I meant to add. Everyone, you could try the slide now. That's one thing I forgot to add.
Is that your question?
Okay.
The amount of drops per day? Yes, so we have 15 different drops, and you can take all of them, although the power ones are specific for men and women, but it won't hurt if you accidentally take the male one or the opposite one. They're all just botanicals. So it's fruits and vegetables and plants, and you can't really ever overdose on that. The recommendation is up to 3 per day per drop. So technically you could take up to 45 drops a day. If you wanted to take 3 of every single one, most people take between 6 and 8 a day. Some people take more, some people take less. Some of them are on an as needed basis. Some are more of a daily. And yes, Cindy, yes, she say that out loud. You say that.
So when I first met Pamela, I was so excited to receive my drops. It was in February of 2021. And I called her up and I said, Pamela, oh my gosh, these drops taste so good. I've tried all 15. And she got quiet. I think she gasped and she said, well, one of them is Power Men. And I certainly hope that you didn't take that one. And I said, well, I did, but don't worry, I didn't grow a prostate.
Too funny. Too funny. I love it. Yes, Sheila, the drops can be taken at any time of the day. One of the things I love about these is especially the ones for calm and relaxation, or the ones for energy. Relax, the RLX one, which you all tried and went bananas over, hopefully. You can take it at any time for anxiety, just if you're stressed over something, and it won't put you to sleep. It just calms your mind. At the same time, it helps calm your mind right before bed. So it won't put you to sleep. It just helps calm your mind so you can fall asleep. Similar, we have the one for energy, which we didn't share with you here today. But the person who invited you can send you a sample of that. GTS, which is our energy one. You can take that one in the afternoon and it won't keep you up at night. So much better than a Red Bull or a Rockstar or a cup of coffee at 4 in the afternoon. So yes, any time of day. Any other questions? All right, Sheila, you want to close us out?
Yes. I just want to say to everyone here that's listening that thank you so much for joining us today. And we are so happy to be able to share these exclusive drops with you. We are just happy to do that, and also to help all people here with their health goals and needs. We would like to invite you to our private Facebook testimonials group, which is what you see here, APL Go Live. It is a group that has over 10,000 people sharing their testimonies and experiences in using the drops. They are amazing testimonies. If you have any questions, please reach out to the person who invited you, or you can post a question directly in our Facebook event page. Lastly, there's a short survey on the Facebook event page. We'd love for you to take a few minutes to fill out the survey and give us your feedback. Thanks again so much for joining us today, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all of my drop sharers.
Thank you for attending. We
Yeah.
appreciate your being here.
Thank you,
Definitely.
everyone.
Enjoy the drops.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pam.